penetration between two bodies, and it's the climax. To me, that isn't sex. That's just a pivotal point of many other possibilities. And I think that a better word for it is passion, is connection, it's a connective. And the best sex, the only sex, is from the mind, because that's what creates the chemistry, the instinct. And it starts in very subtle ways with flirtations. And this is how two people seduce one another. It can be in a club where they're both drunk off their faces and they end up as friends with benefits, or have a fling. It fills a need, but that's never ever been for me. I think if you can find that balance of real love, absolute love, it's a beautiful thing to have, and you both have to work at it. It doesn't just come out of a box. Two people have to work at it. You know, you can have relationships where one is more attracted to the other, and that's a shame, because it's nice when you get that mutual buzz when, alright, you're not both feeling that connective at the same time. Perhaps one day you may love your partner more than they love you for varying reasons, but you work at it, you work through it, and you make time to flirt. And if you can get that balance right, and the hardest things to master on this planet are relationships, but if you can get that balance right, it could last forever. And it's getting it right. It's making your other feel special, and you build on that, and you keep it sexy, and you keep it real. And taking your time with one another to explore one another, and it doesn't always have to involve getting naked. Holding hands can be hugely sexy. There's different ways to hold hands. There's holding hands because it's a habit, but then there's holding hands by linking fingers, or gently tickling the palms of each other's hands while you're walking along. Tickling, sensory sexuality is just stunning, where you can just gently tickle each other's skin and soothe one another. I think it's such a shame when you find somebody and, for example, he puts his arm around her, or he puts his arm around him, or she puts her arm around her, whoever you are together. And then the other person sees it as an introduction to foreplay. Right, we've got touch here. This person's got their arm around me, and then you start mauling them, and you should be able to hold each other and comfort each other and cuddle up to each other without it leading to sex. And it's a good exercise, actually. When things die down and they perhaps get a bit dull, is to just have affection, to tease, to provoke one another, to get your sensories working again. Is to not always think it's got to end in sexual fulfilment. And I think it's important for a person to feel comfortable in their skin with who they are, without having to feel they have to offer themselves to you at the first sign of touch. Affection is so important, and I think when you start a relationship, you should start with that affection, and until you've acquired that mutual balance of lovely affection, you shouldn't push for it to go any further, because you'll quickly lose respect for one another if you just become habits of instinct, habits of sex. No, sex is a really passionate, gorgeous gift. We've got so many different feelings going on inside of our bodies, and there's so many erogenous zones. You know, we need to explore. Some people don't even know what an erogenous zone is. We've got them on our neck, we've even got them on our arms, we've got them all over our body, and they are the most beautiful things to tap into. And then there's more sort of karmic connections, where you can sit still with one another and you can actually transmit colours and energy to one another, and you can even do this absently. It's to do with connecting. Yeah, that's just the start of my views on intimacy. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And if you look at animals in their natural habitats, they play fight, they cuddle, they rub noses, they do all the right things. Human beings sometimes don't seem to have a clue. You know, I think that men don't understand women at the moment. I think there's a lot of men that don't understand women, and I don't think women make it easy either. You know, there's this gap that needs to come together where the opposite sexes or compatibles can connect and talk to each other without them seeing it as a chat-up. You know, I've been out with girls and a guy started to walk over and go, oh God, he's coming over, he's going to chat me up. Well, love, don't make presumptions. Give the guy a chance, let's just talk, see what he's got to say. Okay, if someone's staggering over to you drunk, you don't want to know, give it the body language. But in normal environments, encourage conversation. You never know who you'll meet on the street. It's good to talk to people. It's good to make that connections without thinking about sex. But I've got male friends, and I've made it clear from the start, it's friends. When two people connect, two people, you know, that feel horny, it doesn't mean you've got to have a relationship and sleep together. You may end up just being friends. Get to know each other first and get to know what makes you tick, because short-lived friendships through life don't really do us any good. There's nothing nicer than saying you've kept a friend, you've got to know a friend, you've gone through the hurdles with one another and you've built on that and it grows, and that's how love flourishes. It's keeping it real and keeping it burning and keeping it going. I mean, I can't stand to see women plastered in makeup, looking prim all the time. I think we've got to show our natural sides. We've got to show every side of who we are. We're flowers. We've got petals. But sometimes, remember to make that effort to look and feel sexy, because by doing that, you're going to send off a different vibe from yourself, because you feel good about yourself. So always ensure that the way you are, you feel good about yourself. I mean, I've got some old baggy pants on, I've got this top on, my hair's just gripped up today, I've painted my nails, but I feel alright about myself. I could go out that door now and feel quite confident, you know. And it's important, our body image is important. If you want to be fat, but love who you are, be happy with this. If you're not happy with yourself, change it. Don't moan, change it. If you like the way you are, great, cool. You'll attract people because you feel confident in yourself. And that's how chemistry works. It works on a silent level and it radiates all around you if you've got that chemistry. Don't let anyone burst your bubble. Thank you.